Okay, hi everyone. This is Noah Spalding again, and I want to start going over the way the pieces move. The first piece we'll start with is the king, and we'll start with the king in the proper place. All right, and how kings move. How kings move are they move one square in any direction. Okay, one square in any direction. So you will see a king move around the board, and you can let your players, you can let them move around with the king. It's very simple though. It can move backwards, it can move forwards, just one square in any direction. Okay, so for this king, uh, possible moves would be in any of these squares. Okay, any of these squares. Now, there is one thing that you should know is that the kings can never be beside one another. All right, that's basically that's putting the kings in mutual check, and that's not that's an illegal move. So you can see if it's white to move, trying to go to one of these squares, and it's not letting me because then it's not allowed. You're not allowed to put the kings in mutual check. So the kings can move one square in any direction. However, they cannot be beside one another. They cannot be attacking one another. Okay? All right, let's put these back and let's add some rooks. Okay? These are the rooks, and how a rook moves is a rook can move forwards as far as it can go. So I can move this rook anywhere on this file. Let's just say I move it here, and let's say I move this rook here, and also they can move sideways in any direction as far as it can go. So we can move this rook here, or this rook as far as it wants, this way or this way. Okay, so let's move it here. All right, and basically when it captures a piece, let's say we put a knight here, the rook, when it captures a piece, because remember the rook can move as far as it wants to forward, it just takes that piece away and it stops on that square. Okay, and like so. All right, now if there was a piece on this side like this, rook could, if it wanted to, stop. It doesn't have to take the piece. It could stop here, it could go here. Let's say it just stops there. Of course, this would be a bad move because now if it was black to move, black's rook can go backward. You can go backward with the rook, and it can just take that piece. Okay, so that's the king and the rook. All right, there we go. Move those, and let's now do the bishops. Okay, and if you notice, the bishops come in pairs. You have a bishop that starts on the white square, and you have a bishop that starts on the black square. And we refer to these as the light color bishop and the dark color bishop. So basically, or the light squared bishop and the dark squared bishop. And basically what the bishop does, it's sort of like the rook in that it doesn't move forward. It actually stays on its diagonal. Okay, and the same thing, it can go as far as it wants as long as it's open. All right, as far as it wants. If there are pieces in its way, its own pieces, like say for example we had pawns here, this bishop would be blocked in. It cannot jump over its own pieces. All right, this bishop, however, is open. So it can move here or it can move all the way here. Now it wouldn't want to move all the way there because obviously if it's black to move, he could just take his bishop and take that bishop, take the white bishop. Now, and the thing about the bishops, for example, if black lost his dark squared bishop, and it only had the light squared bishop left, notice if you put the pawns on the dark squares, as long as these pawns were on dark squares, this bishop would never be able to take those pawns. Okay, so like here, here, like so. Okay, you can see never could it take. It doesn't, if it starts on the light squares, this bishop could never get to a dark square. Same thing with this bishop. It's on the light square, it could never get to a dark square. Okay, So let's just review what we talked about. We've talked about our kings, and our kings can move 1 square in any direction. 1 square in any direction. And the only thing about kings is they cannot be touching each other. You can't be in mutual check with the kings. All right, and they can move backwards if you'd like. 1 square, 1 square, 1 square. All right, and we talked about rooks. And rooks move forward as far as they can go. All right, again, if we had a white pawn here, the rook would be blocked in here, blocked in forward. It couldn't jump over this piece. Same thing on this side. It couldn't move over on this side of the board because it's blocked with its own king. But as long as there's a clear path, it can go as far as it wants. Like so. Okay. Oop, lost my rook there for a second. So over here, and then let's say we moved here, and to take a piece, it goes forward, and then it just replaces it, like so. And then finally, we talked about the bishops. And the bishops move on what's known as diagonals, and they stay on the color that it starts with. So starts on a dark square, so it would always go to dark squares, like so. And that would be a bad move because then we would go and we could replace it and take that bishop. So let's move this around some here, and that would be a bad move because then we would take that bishop. Okay, so we talked about the kings, the rooks, and the bishops. Tune in to the next video as we will cover the other pieces. Thank you.